everyone. So today I'm going to talk to you about my user manual that I created. So this right here is my final user manual that I came up with. I found the template on Canva and just divided it up into different sections based on some of the questions from the readings. So some things that are really important to me are communication and collaboration from others, um, and then also uninterrupted time to process information, plan, and prep. I really do value hearing from other people that I work with, but then also having time to take that and then process it by myself. Some of the things that work for me in the work environment are making a lot of lists and checking things off, making sure that I'm prioritizing tasks by importance, and then working on one task at a time and completely finishing it before I move on to the next thing, because I'm not really great at multitasking. Some things that don't work for me are disorganization and a lack of communication. Some of the best ways to help me are to give me written feedback and provide positive encouragement, because I tend to be a perfectionist and I'm definitely my own harshest critic. As far as communication goes, I do like face to face communication better because I think that you can solve problems faster as in person as opposed to through just a really long email chain. And then some misunderstandings about me are that I'm really shy, so I might not speak up in meetings or with large groups of people. And then I also might work a little bit slower, but that's because I do review my work and pay really close attention to detail. So for my design process, I started off by creating my survey in SurveyMonkey, and then I also created a Google Doc where I observed different things from the articles and wrote that stuff down and just had a place to keep it all in one place. Then, kind of after I did that, I started thinking about how I wanted my end product to look, even though I didn't know how I was going to answer the questions yet. So I started off with just a little sketch, and then I went into Canva and searched different design templates. I started off by looking at user guide templates and didn't really like any of those. Then I landed on this final one on the bottom, which is more of a meet the teacher template, and I just modified it to meet the needs of this project. After a few days, I went and looked at the survey results and I analyzed them. I included some screenshots of some answers to the questions, and I took notes about some takeaways from the survey. So I found that a lot of people do their work on the computer. They like colorful, realistic images, plain font, and then they also like text and videos to take in information, and they prefer it when it's bulleted and also prefer closed captioning. So part of the reason why I'm recording this video is because that was some of the feedback that I got. After I analyzed those results, I started to think about how I could take those results and then incorporate them into the template that I chose in Canva. After that, I started to think about the content more specifically and what I was going to include in my user manual. So I took each of the sections and just made a bulleted list of kind of my initial thoughts about every section so that I would have an idea of what I wanted to say. And then when it came time to go back and design how the product would look, I could really focus on the design and then just make small tweaks to the content along the way. So this is my kind of design process. It's basically what the template started as, and then what it looked like when it was finished. And you can kind of see the changes that I made. So at the top I obviously changed the title, and then there was some script text at the top that I decided to change because the people who answered my survey said that they liked plain fonts better. I also changed the size of the boxes and the layout. I made the picture smaller, and I also put bullet points for each of the things in different colors so that you could easily distinguish between each section. And this was I got all of these ideas from the feedback from my survey. I also kind of tried to be intentional with the colors and not make them too dark. I used black text so that it would stand out more. And then for the what works for me and what doesn't work for me, I decided to make the positive things green, and then the more negative, or what doesn't work for me, a little more of like a red color because they were more negative things. Um, and like I said, I just tried to make everything so that you could read it easily and so that there wasn't too many distractions, and also included a picture of myself, like I said, to make it feel a little bit more personal. Now for my reflection, so for the rows or the positive things, I felt like this assignment allowed me to be really creative, and I loved playing around with different designs in Canva. I learned how to use SurveyMonkey, which was a new tool for me. And then I really thought it was also good to reflect about my personality as an employee. And once I read some of these, I feel like I'll get to know my classmates better. A thorn for me is honestly doing this video recording right now. This is kind of something that I struggle with, but I want to keep um, working on it and practicing recording more videos because I know that a lot of people learn best through videos. And I also I have trouble turning off work because sometimes I would just like think about this project at the most random times, and sometimes I have a hard time shutting off work um, and not thinking about it at like random times during the day when I should be working on other things or just have free time and stuff. And then for my bud, I think next time, as I was putting this presentation together, I realized that I didn't have any pictures of what my design looked like in the middle of my process. I only had the original template and then what I had ended up with as my final result. And I think next time I just need to remember to, or I want to remember to take a picture of what it looks like in the middle so you get a better idea of the entire process and kind of more of those middle details. And then I'm also really excited to look and see how others approach the project and to get ideas from them. So that is my user manual and my rationale, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's.